Hello everyone, welcome. And well, for tonight I bring you guys a treat straight from the North American servers. And we're gonna have here a nice face-off taken from the SGL, the Starcraft Gaming League. It's a fairly recent event, but it's getting big, it's growing. A team event where players represent their teams and play matches against each other to award points and advantage to their teams. And well, on this matchup, which is taken from the semifinals, the playoff stage of the SGL, we're gonna have this yellow Protoss, ROOTKIWIKaKI, the Canadian Protoss player, as you guys know. One of the most famous for his creativity and aggression. His style is quite creative playing Protoss, and he's going to be facing against this blue Zerg that everyone knows, EGIdrA, Greg Fields, American player, now back at home, straight from Korea after living 3 years there. He's back and ready to face all the top players on the North American server. And well, they're gonna clash here in Metalopolis, as you can see. Spawning points, complete opposite, so cross positions here might be beneficial for the Zerg player. At least it will give him a bit more of time of breathing space to prepare and react to his opponent. And well, I'm hoping for an epic match to come out of this. It has a lot at stake, as you might imagine. It's the semifinals of a fairly big tournament, and you're just representing your team, so things need to be done properly. And for EG to pull out of their hat EGIdrA, which is one of the finest Zerg playing in the current environment, in the current StarCraft 2 environment, it's a sign that they want to pull a win over KIWIKaKI's creativity. So hopefully we're going to see the macro beast EGIdrA just dominating this map and dominating his opponent, if you want to root for EG. If not, well, just go for KIWIKaKI and these awesome Archon toilets and motherships, and we might be seeing something epic coming out of him to take the win, the victory on this matchup. For now, as you can see, he's just starting, and with KIWIKaKI just advancing with his probe, taking a peek at EGIdrA's base. Not much going on. For now, EGIdrA just decided to go spawning pool first and make sure he's gonna have some kind of defense if KIWIKaKI decides to go for early aggression. And now getting finally his hatchery down on the natural expo, so playing it cautious, making sure he's gonna have what it takes to defend against any kind of early aggression. Getting now with his drone into KIWIKaKI's base, spotting the wall off, just the standard opening for now, as you can see, gateway into cybernetics core, and finally just grabbing the second gas. So everything's still running smoothly, no surprises, no hiccups on the plans from both players from what I can see. And now EGIdrA is just being slowly massing gas, and eventually I think he's gonna get the Zergling speed. That might be part of the plan, but playing out of two bases, he's soon enough going to be able to put up quite a force, or just commit himself to drone like a madman and get as much income as possible. For now, I'm assuming that it's still fairly balanced. Well, actually KIWIKaKI just pulling a little bit ahead. He's been drawing like a freak, 23 against 19, so he's actually dominating on the worker count over EGIdrA, something that you don't see that often, I would say, especially for a macro Zerg like EGIdrA, but still all part of the plan. Let's keep rolling, and the first sentry going after that drone, making sure he's going to finish it off before he takes way too much information out of this base. For now, spotting more gateways getting popped, so 3 gateway play. We're probably going to see the 4 gates soon. Even pulling a probe. Oh, now it's just heading back home. It was the one that got pretty shot at the bases from EGIdrA, and now EGIdrA getting his worker transfer. So now apparently I think you're gonna have a nice income, a nice boost on the economy, while KIWIKaKI is still playing out of one base and establishing his 4-gate play, as you can see. From now we can have KIWIKaKI just going for a lot of aggression. His unit composition for now, he doesn't even have a single stalker, as you can see, plenty of sentries. Is he even building more? No, just finishing off warp gate technology, while on EGIdRA's side, what is he doing here? Let us take a look. Still only 1 gas and going for a fast layer tech, so transitioning into the second layer of tech with a certain speed and making sure he's gonna have what it takes to oppose against KIWIKaKI. He has good options with the layer tech, as you know, especially against Protoss. Something like Hydralisk is quite effective, Also Mutalisk Harass, if properly managed, it's awesome, as you guys know. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see and notice which way EGIdRA is heading on this matchup here. For now I can see that on KIWIKaKI's forces, let's take a look at the unit count. Yeah, he already has 6 sentries, he's going very sentry heavy on his opening, and I'm assuming he's planning something ahead. For now, EGIdRA just spotted all of his opponent's base, saw the 4 gate, and getting some static defenses while spreading the creep, making sure he's going to have enough creep on the front of his base so he can attempt to surround on his opponent. And KIWIKaKI just pulling down, very sentry heavy in my modest opinion. I think he has a plan related with force fields and such, I would say. Let's see if that's the case or not. For now he's just advancing towards EGIdRA's bases, and the Zerglings apparently are just so close, but just leaving them and letting them pass. And now Zealots and Sentries advancing into this natural expo from EGIdRA, with the Zerglings, all of them staying on the back, probably preparing to surprise attack on the back. There's plenty of defenses here. Queen, already roaches popping out. There's still 2 spine crawlers. I think this is more than enough to withstand this assault from KIWIKaKI, I would say. KIWIKaKI, meanwhile, as you guys noticed, is expanding while he advances, so basically he's containing the movements from EGIdRA, making sure that EGIdRA is busy here with his force fields and sentries and zealots, and instead of sending forces on his way, he's just being able to establish his base quietly with no problem whatsoever. First batch of roaches advancing, trying to finish off some of these forces from KIWIKaKI. More roaches advancing from the back, 6 roaches actually. And meanwhile, as you can see, KIWIKaKI just finishing off his natural expo, establishing a fairly short wall here, while a small battle ensues here with a nice interception made by those Zerglings. Zerglings backing up the roach force, but nice force field play once again, containing the roach movement and allowing KIWIKaKI to just return home with most of his forces. There's not that many units lost for now. 2 Zerglings actually able to kill off one more unit, but that's it, and the aggression is over, while EGIdRA decides to go for more macro play and the 3rd base fairly early here, going to play out of 3 bases soon enough. And taking a look at KIWIKaKI's base, just grabbing the assimilator there. What else is he getting built? Already has the robotics facility, getting an observer out, make sure he's gonna have at least some information, collect some information of his opponent's bases with that observer. And apparently we're gonna have Forge here, probably some static defenses or upgrades incoming, and notice the hallucination. So I'm assuming that KIWIKaKI is gonna assume a more macro strong and macro heavy stance into this build, and just gonna try to collect some information from his opponent. Income wise, let's take a look. As you can see, still balanced, 46 against 51, still KIWIKaKI just getting more and more probes and being able to keep ahead of the drone count from EGIdRA. Quite impressive. Econ wise, they're still fairly balanced. There's the Evo chamber, is getting some upgrades out, as you guys can see. The missile attack is getting researched, and we have Immortals coming out on KIWIKaKI's side as well, from what I can see, as well as some upgrades there, Immortals, and now the first Phoenixes, hallucinated Phoenixes, flying over EGIdRA's bases, taking a look at all the buildings, see how far EGIdRA is on the attack, and now this one is just flying here, while the second one could be followed on the picture-in-picture, as you guys seen, that spotted that 3rd base as well, while KIWIKaKI established his 3rd base. So balanced play here, with EGIdRA sending an Overlord to spot everything. He saw all of these buildings here, spotting this robotics base, so knowing that KIWIKaKI is deciding if he's gonna commit himself to a lot of Colossi play or not, and getting the extended thermal lance pumping. So I guess that soon enough you're gonna have Colossi backing up this fairly small death ball. Keep in mind that if he goes for more Immortals, they are quite effective against roaches. And let's take a look at the armies for now. Only 7 roaches, so there's not much to go for if he goes very Immortal heavy, but who knows what the plans from EGIdRA are. For now I'm just following the match, taking a look at what both players are doing. Apparently they're just entering both of them on macro mode, and notice the amount of upgrades that everyone is taking care of, with EGIdRA going for a lot of upgrades and the Hydralisk Den. So nice option here, puts out a lot of DPS, needs some backup on the front, needs something sturdy like roaches on the front or on the main line, so they can DPS from the back and not get completely wrecked, destroyed by Colossi play, for example. EGIdrA once again going for some deep scout into his opponent's main base, spotting everything going on there and leaving the place before he gets shot, with a small group of Zerglings just advancing towards that third base. This Overlord is gonna get shot, with the Zerglings finally arriving here on the third base from KIWIKaKI. Already some static defenses keeping it up, but notice this detail, notice how far the creep is already out for EGIdrA. He's just using his Overlords to poop some creep and just stretch his big creep highway, making sure that he's gonna have what it takes to speed up ahead and try to get some nice flanking maneuvers on his opponent when he actually decides to just move ahead and go for the aggression. For now, some Zerglings just advancing, not even close, just being used for scouting purposes. Obviously the amount, only 5 of them, won't be able to do much damage. Now just entering the line, killing some of those probes, but that surround is gonna finish them off so quickly. There it is, while KIWIKaKI advances with this big yellow ball of aggression into EGIdRA's land. As you can see, there's already a lot of creep spread, nice force field play, Corruptors trying to advance and shoot those Colossi down. Notice the fact that he has 2 hallucinated Colossi there on the back, trying to attract the fire, draw the fire from his opponents. And it is a brilliant option, something that you don't see that often with Protoss players using, but adding those hallucinated Colossus to your front line will attract, will draw a lot of fire from your opponent, and while he's shooting some hallucinated units, he's not actually shooting your real units, so it's all win-win, it's profit for the Protoss player. Now with the Corruptors advancing straight into that Colossi, they want to finish it up before he joins the big death ball. There it is, now all the units from EGIdRA advancing straight into this group of Stalkers to which KIWIKaKI transition after that early strong sentry play. And now notice all of those Hydralisks shooting as much as possible, DPSing as fast as possible, but I mean they have nothing helping to defend them, so this is getting complicated. As you can see on the army count, EGIdRA is way ahead, but having all of these Hydralisks standing on the front of the battle, they will get shot pretty fast, especially because these Stalkers have blink, and with the blink tech they will be able to be saved so much easier. But with a nice micro by KIWIKaKI, he'll be able to finish off the forces from EGIdRA here and just wrap up this match. For now, forcing EGIdRA to pull back, he's gonna have to recover his forces to replenish them as fast as possible, because this match, this battle here, was taken for the Stalkers, in Stalkers' favor, and now he needs to recover, needs to regain his forces and try to push once more. There it is, Twilight Council who gave the blink upgrade. Taking a look at the bases, a lot of gateways. I guess that KIWIKaKI is just preparing himself to just make a huge invasion on his opponent, grabbing his 4th base, while EGIdRA is playing out of 4 bases as well. As you guys can see, there's already the 4th one there. Still, none of the players decided to commit himself to the rich mineral fields. They're hard to defend, as we all know, so that might be related with the decision of them not taking any chances of grabbing that, at least on the early stages of the game. And apparently gonna have another push from EGIdRA, advancing with Hydralisks and Zerglings. As you can see, the unit composition there, there's 9 Corruptors, only 3 Roaches, so EGIdRA went very strong for the Hydralisks play. He has 23 with 49 Zerglings, while his opponent went straight and solid Stalkers with 1 single Colossi. There are 31 Stalkers with blink, so very heavy blink Stalker play here by KIWIKaKI. Will it pay off? I'm not sure, but based on the fact we have plenty of Hydralisks as well, they will be able to shoot and DPS those Stalkers fairly fast. The big issue I see here is that there's not much defending those Hydralisks besides a big wave of Zerglings, so I guess that these Zerglings will have to do the work while the Hydralisks just DPS as much as possible. There's more upgrades incoming, and apparently EGIdRA is gonna advance even without having those upgrades finished. We have 1-0 on the carapace, and here come big clash here. So many Stalkers trying to get a nice surround there with the Zerglings. All of the DPS coming out of those Hydralisks, trying to finish off as many of those Stalkers as possible, advancing towards his opponent's natural expo. Once again pulling back. I think he's waiting for reinforcements, but KIWIKaKI is not gonna wait. He is advancing. Probably is just trying to wait to finish off that armor upgrade, but there's still a little bit missing, so no timing for it now. He's gonna have to have a massive confrontation with KIWIKaKI right here, right now. Notice how fast those Hydralisks go down, facing against this very powerful Blink Stalkers that just wreaked havoc through the lines of EGIdRA, and EGIdRA doesn't have much of an army anymore. Once again, he's trying now to back up his army with some infestors from what I can see, but I don't think it will be in time. There's not much left of his forces. Still 181 against 164 incoming the forces from EGIdRA once again. It's just a small batch of Hydralisks, so there's not much here. Let's take a look at how fast they'll go down. Yeah, EGIdRA is even ruffling. Oh my god. He just got completely destroyed with this massive Stalker offensive, and the Blink Stalkers work brilliantly against those Hydralisks, forcing EGIdRA to GG out of this match. Notice now that EGIdRA was attempting to get the hatchery on the rich mineral field and also playing out of 4 bases. Let's take a look at what else was he building. He had the Spire here, but we didn't so much of any Mutalisk action, was basically straight into Corruptors, and had the macro going on with 2 hatcheries on the Natural Expo. Building wise, as you could see, he had Infestors getting built, 3 there, but not in time. The Infestation Pit didn't have much work, and the Hive Tech, well, we didn't see much of it. I guess that EGIdRA was trying to plan ahead, but it didn't work out because KIWIKaKI was able to make a very powerful push with the massive Stalker army and just finished him off completely. Notice this small detail. On the Natural Expo, we already have here the Fleet Beacon, so if this game would stretch a bit more, we could have seen something fun, but well, I guess we just lost the chance. Also 2 robotics facility from what I can see exactly. Well, game done. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later and have fun.